Hello everybody and welcome to History Bite number 229, dated April 17th, 2021. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. This History Bite is entitled The Panama Canal Treaties. Now, I'm almost certain that you're here because you are doing research of sorts on the Panama Canal Treaties. And if you are not, you are a very, very, very true historian, because why else would you care about this subject except for a genuine love of history, or a love of Panama, or a love of Panamanian American relations? Whatever reason you're here, however, I'm glad you came to watch the video. So let's get started. All right. Here we talk about the two treaties negotiated between the United States of America and the Republic of Panama in 1977. Before we get into the treaties, let's get some background first. Always have to do history, the context first. So, of course, as many of you know, the United States of America is largely the country responsible for Panamanian independence from Colombia, all right? As a result of the Hay-Bunau-Varilla Treaty of 1903, the United States of America was given the ability to establish the land that would become the Panama Canal Zone and to build a canal across the Isthmus of Panama. All right? So, the canal would be built, and the Canal Zone was an area of land that stretched 10 miles inward from either side of what would become the canal. All right? The Canal Zone was effectively a U.S. colony inside of Panama that was under the complete and total authority of the United States of America, all right? Panamanians could freely enter and exit this zone without any border restrictions, all right? There was no issues here, however. But needless to say, the Panamanians were not very happy with an American colony in their country. Additionally, the Hay-Bunau-Varilla Treaty, all right, signed officially between the United States and Panama. And I do that because the representative from Panama was a Frenchman who had not lived in Panama for several years and officially did not have the authority from the Panamanian government to authorize this treaty, all right? So, many question the validity of it, all right? And it was very unpopular with many Panamanians, as not one single, all right, representative from Panama itself was present for the negotiation of this treaty. But past that, it was done, said, and signed between the United States and Panama, November 18th, 1903. So we have the authority to establish the Canal Zone and build the Panama Canal because of that treaty. All right, that was done. We fast forward about 50 years in the mid-1960s, specifically in 1964, where, 5 decades of Panamanian resentment of U.S. policy with the canal and the Canal Zone have been building up. So in 1964, a nasty riot, now I do mean a nasty riot, broke out in Panama over a dispute with respect to the Panamanian flag being flown in the Canal Zone. The flag got ripped and all hell broke loose, all right? It was a mess, to say the very least, okay? It was so tense that Panama even broke off relations with the United States briefly in 1964 until the U.S. agreed to come to the table to renegotiate the Panama Canal agreements made 50 years earlier. All right? United States, wishing to maintain good terms with Panama and not having the canals interrupted in any way, shape, or form, saw the need to do this, and it moved on it very quickly. All right? The United States also was concerned, as it were, with the relationship with the rest of Latin America as well, all right? In 1967, all right, 3 treaties would be formulated and essentially agreed upon. However, All right, the Panamanian president, Marco Robles, was defeated in an election, and after his opponent had taken office, he too would be overthrown by General Omar Torrijos. All right? So, we see a setback with the negotiation of the Panama Canal Treaties for some years after the coup by General Torrijos. Okay? Torrijos certainly was a friend of the United States of America and wanted to continue renegotiating the Panama Canal Treaties. All right? Although a lot of Americans did not trust him because they thought he was a communist, which was not the case. All right? In the United States, both the Nixon and Ford administrations, like Johnson's administration in the 1960s, certainly wanted to continue this process, and progress, slowly moved forward, but nothing with any real substance. That is until the administration of Jimmy Carter began in 1977. Okay? Now, initially, President Carter was not enthusiastic about handing over the Panama Canal or the Canal Zone. However, senior advisors to the administration convinced Carter of the importance of this matter, and he and General Torrijos began their negotiations, which indeed would ultimately bear fruit. All right? Interestingly enough, or rather perhaps not so interestingly enough, there was not exactly a great deal of enthusiasm here in the United States with the prospect of giving away the Panama Canal, something we built and bought and had maintained ever since 1914, which at that point was some 60 years earlier. All right. One leading opponent of the Panama Canal Treaties that would ultimately come to pass was Senator Strom Thurmond of South Carolina. All right. Senator Thurmond, certainly had no desire to give away what he perceived as a valuable American asset. All right. The Panama Canal was certainly no small thing. All right. It was a vital link between East and West trade. Okay. Additionally, he distrusted General Torrijos. He was one of them who viewed him as a communist. Again, something he most certainly was not. All right. So President Carter did a great deal of negotiating, arguably just as much negotiating with Congress as well as General Torrijos about these treaties. All right. So ultimately, President Carter had to do a lot of selling the idea to convince the American public that this was, a good thing, handing over the Panama Canal ultimately and giving away the Canal Zone back to Panama. All right, well, giving the Canal Zone to Panama, because technically Panama never exercised any authority over the Canal Zone or the canal itself, all right, prior to the implementation of these treaties. Okay, so what we have, all right, that bore fruit between President Jimmy Carter and General Omar Torrijos, all right, were two treaties, all right. These treaties were formulated and thought to be fluid in their context and overall reach, all right. These treaties would become known as the Panama Canal Treaties. The first treaty, respectfully known and formally known as the treaty concerning the permanent neutrality and operation of the Panama Canal, or the Neutrality Treaty, gave the United States of America the ability to defend the canal if it was ever attacked, all right, by another country, thus allowing the U.S. the perpetual right to use it. And that was something that many people feared in the prospect of giving it away, that America would lose the ability to use the canal, which was never, ever, ever going to happen. Okay? Thus, we would have the ability to defend it if it should ever come under attack. That would be the first treaty. All right. The second treaty, all right, would effectively terminate U.S. authority in the Panama Canal Zone as of October 1st, 1979. Okay. And the Panama Canal itself would turn over from American administration to the administration of Panama as of December 31st, 1999, 20 years after the surrender of the Canal Zone itself to Panama. All right. These two treaties would be signed by President Jimmy Carter of the United States of America and General Omar Torrijos of Panama on September 7th, 1977. Okay? Of course, as we know about American constitutional law, treaties have to be ratified by 2/3 of present U.S. senators. All right? Now, it wasn't an easy process. The Senate took 6 full months, all right, to begin to vote on these treaties. All right? It would ratify the Neutrality Treaty on the 16th of March, 1978 by a vote of 68 to 32. All right. And on April the 18th, they ratified the Panama Canal Treaty. All right. That was ratified by the same vote count. All right. 68 to 32. All right. And of course, President Carter had to enter into implementation legislation negotiations with Congress with respect to carrying out the terms of these treaties. All right. And President Carter would sign said legislation, the implementation legislation of the treaties, on September 27th, 1979. All right. So those are the important dates here. So as done by the Panama Canal Treaty, all right, the Neutrality Treaty simply gives the United States the right to defend the canal against an attack by another country or countries, thus allowing our perpetual use of it. All right, that's the Neutrality Treaty. And the Panama Canal Treaty, the most important one, all right, as designed, all right, the Panama Canal Zone ceased to exist on the 1st of October, 1979. That land, for the first time ever, came under Panamanian administration. And also, as scheduled, the Panama Canal itself, under the Panama Canal Treaty, turned over to the administration of the Republic of Panama as of December 31st, 1999, and has remained under Panamanian authority uninterrupted ever since that time. All right? So those are the Panama Canal Treaties signed by the governments of the United States of America and the Republic of Panama. The treaties have gone fully into force and remain a symbol of cooperation between the two countries. All right? So, with that in mind, that concludes this discussion. If you have any questions or controversies, do leave them down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so now. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to donate financially to my channel, that too would most certainly be appreciated. Thank you so much for listening to this video about the Panama Canal Treaties. I know it's the most exciting topic. You know, indeed, all history is good. It has its place somewhere along the line. And I invite you to continue listening to the videos of my channel. Take care, stay safe out there, be blessed, and I'll talk to you at the next bite. Peace.